I moved into the building at the end of Willow Street 6 months ago. It was one of those tired, neglected apartment blocks that looked older than the city around it. The bricks were weathered and stained. The windows uneven. Inside, the hallways felt wrong, too long, too quiet. Some nights, the corridor outside my apartment seemed normal. Other nights, it stretched endlessly. The lights buzzed and flickered, casting a sickly pale glow. One evening, after a late shift, I stepped out of the lift and froze. The hallway was longer than I had ever seen it. The air was heavy, stale. Halfway down, I noticed a door I'd never seen before. It was old, the wood scratched, the brass handle tarnished. As I walked past, the handle turned, just slightly, enough to make the hinges groan. I locked myself inside my apartment and tried to sleep. But I couldn't stop thinking about that door. The next night, curiosity pulled me back. The hallway was long again, silent. Up close, I saw deep scratches around the keyhole. The air was cold here. I reached for the handle. The lights went out. Everything was swallowed in darkness. I heard the hinges creak and slow, steady breathing. The smell of damp earth filled my nose. I ran, I don't know how long. When the lights flickered back on, my apartment door was gone. The hallway stretched on, bending into shadow. Footsteps followed, always just behind me. I woke up in my bed. I told myself it was a dream, until I smelled damp earth in the hallway. Now every time I pass that door, the handle turns. Sometimes slowly, sometimes fast. It's getting impatient. One day soon, the lights will go out again. And this time, they won't come back on. Next story, the room across the street. I've lived across from the old Rosemont Hotel for years. It's been boarded up since before I moved in. The windows are dusty, the lobby's in ruins. But last week, I saw a light on in one of the rooms. It was faint yellow like a bedside lamp, and there was someone standing in the window. They didn't move, they didn't wave. They just watched me. I tried to ignore it, told myself I imagined it. But the next night, the light was on again. Same room, same person, still watching. By the third night, I couldn't take it. I crossed the street, went up to the front doors. They were locked, but the chain was broken. Inside, the air was thick with dust. The floorboards groaned under my weight. I climbed the stairs, counting floors until I reached the one with the light. The hallway was empty. Only one door stood open, the one with the glow inside. I stepped in. The room was bare, just a single chair in front of the window, facing my apartment. The lamp was still on, and there was a camera on the chair, pointing at where I sleep. I picked it up. My hands were shaking. Every photo was of me, through my own bedroom window. The most recent one, was from 5 minutes ago. When I turned around, the chair was no longer empty. Someone was sitting in it. They were pale, thin, almost brittle looking, like they'd been left in the dark for decades. Their head tilted slowly, as if their neck could barely hold the weight. And then they smiled. Not a warm smile, it was wide, too wide. I stepped back toward the hallway, my heartbeat pounding in my ears. That's when the door slammed shut behind me. The only light in the room was the yellow glow of the lamp. The figure stood. They moved strangely, like each step was a deliberate effort. I froze as they reached into their pocket and pulled out a camera. A flash went off, blinding me. When my vision cleared, the figure was gone. But the chair wasn't empty anymore. On the seat was the camera. I picked it up, and my hands shaking, there was only one photo on it now. It was me, sitting in the chair, and behind me, standing in the shadows, was my bedroom window. I dropped the camera and ran. I didn't stop until I was back inside my apartment, every lock bolted. But as I sat on my bed trying to calm down, I glanced at the window, and there in the reflection of the glass was the chair. And I was sitting in it.